This video is about rounding and significant figures. Okay, let's review how to round numbers. Rational numbers are often approximated by rounding to a given decimal. We can also round other real numbers to correct to a specific place value. So rounding looks to the right of a specified place value and makes a judgment. If the digit to the right is greater than or equal to 5, then the specified digit is rounded up or increased by 1 unit. If the digit to the right is less than 5, then the specified digit stays the same. In both cases, all the numbers to the right of the specified place value are removed. So let's look at an example here. For each of these numbers, we want to round to the nearest tens place. And of course, you can always round to any place value that you want or is asked of you. But in this example, we're just rounding to the nearest tens. So if we want to round this number, 75, to the nearest tens, we're going to look at the tens place, or identify it, and then look to the number to the right of it, and determine is this number 5 or greater, or is it less than 5? So since the number in the ones place is a 5, we're going to round the 7 up to 8. And we're going to drop the numbers to the right. In this example, we identify the tens place and we look to the number to the right of it, and it's an 8. And so since 8 is greater than 5, we're going to round the 7 up to an 8 and put a 0 in the ones place. In this example, we look at the tens place, we identify it, and we look to the number to the right of it, and it's a number less than 5. So we're going to keep the number that's in the tens place as the same number. So that means that this number is rounded to be 290. Okay, I want you to pause the video, and on your notes, I want you to round these last two numbers to the nearest tens. Once you do that, press play and check your answers with mine. Okay, welcome back. For D, I got 1,650, and then for E, I got 9,790. Let's look at these numbers here. Now here we want to round numbers to the nearest decimal places, and those decimal places that we want to round to are stated in parentheses. So for the first number, we have 3.47. We want to round to the nearest decimal, or tenths place, because that's one decimal place. So that's here. And we look to the number to the right of it, it's a 7, which is greater than 5, so this becomes 3.50. For the next number, we want to round to 2 decimal places, which is the nearest hundredth. So that's right here. And we want to look to the number to the right of it. It's less than 5, so we keep 6 as 6. So it should be 5.36. Okay, at this point I want you to pause the video, round the next 3 numbers on your notes, and then once you do that, press play and check your answers with mine. Okay, welcome back. This is what I got. C is 7.2, D 9.025, and E 0.01. Hopefully you got those, and if you didn't, just ask me in class for clarification. Alright, using significant figures or digits are a different way of rounding. What are they? Well, they're sort of interesting or important digits. Significant figures are, that is. They are the digits which give us useful information about the accuracy of a measurement. So here are some rules for using significant figures. First rule is non-zero digits are always significant. Second rule is any zeros between 2 significant digits are significant. And last rule, a final 0 or trailing zeros in the decimal portion only are significant. Now, if you are taking the IB exam as a math studies student, then you must know that all of your answers should be rounded to 3 significant figures. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. If we're dealing with money, you always want to round to the nearest cent. If you're asked to round to a different place value, then you're going to round to that different place value that is in the question. But the general rule is you want to round to 3 significant figures when it's reasonable. So if you get a number that has a long decimal value and actually it might keep going, you want to round to 3 significant figures. Or if you have a really big number, we're talking in the millions, billions, you want to round to 3 significant figures. So let's look at some numbers in regards to significant figures. So if we have the number 3.14159, then this number has 6 significant figures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every digit gives us useful information here. If we had a number like 1,000, this number has 1 significant figure. Only the 1 is interesting. We don't know anything for sure about the hundreds, tens, or tenths digit. The zeros may be placeholders for something that was rounded. What if we had the number 1000.0? This kind of changes the game. This number has 5 significant figures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The point 0 tells us something interesting about the presumed accuracy of the measurement being made, namely that the measurement is accurate to the tenths place, but that there happen to be 0 tenths. Now what if we had this number right here? Well, this number, 0.00035, this number actually has just 2 significant figures. Only 3 and 5 tells us something. The other zeros are placeholders, only providing information about relative size. 1006 has 4 significant figures. The 1 and 6 are interesting, and we have to count the zeros because they're between 2 interesting numbers. Let's look at another example, 560. 560 has 2 significant figures. The last 0 is just a placeholder. And if we take this number, 560, and we just add a decimal place right here, we change the number of significant figures from 2 to 3. It becomes 3 because the decimal point tells us that the measurement was made to the nearest unit. So here's just a couple examples. Now let's look at putting numbers into certain numbers of significant figures. So this first number here, 567, if we wanted to put it into 1 significant figure, we would start with the largest place value, which is 5, and that would give us the 1 significant figure. But then we have to look to the number to the right of it, and since this number, 6, is 5 or greater, then we need to round this 5 up to 6. So 567 becomes 600 when rounded to 1 significant figure. This next example here, if we want to have it to 3 significant figures, we count from the largest place value, 1, 2, 3, and then we look at the number to the right of the last digit, and that's 6, which is greater than 5, so we're going to round this place value, or this number, up to 1. So it would become 10100. So 10,100 is this number rounded to 3 significant figures. In this example right here, if we want to put this number into 4 significant figures, we are not going to count these zeros. We start counting at the first non-zero number. So we go 1, 2, 3, and we're done with the non-zero numbers, but we need it to 4 significant figures. So we have to add a 0 here. It becomes 0.005430. This number right here is to 4 significant figures. Then in this example right here, 28.0392, if we need to round to 4 significant figures, I start counting with the largest digit, or in the largest place value, 1, 2, 3, 4. We look to the number to the right of that last digit, and it's greater than 5, so I need to round the 3 up. So I would write 28.04. And that's this number to 4 significant figures. In my last example here, 43,620, if I want it to be in 2 significant figures, I start with the largest place value, I count 2, and then I look to the number to the right of it, which is 6, greater than 5, so I need to round this number up. It becomes 44,000. And that is it for this video. Have a great one and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.